Hey guys, so on the last video, I showed you what terminal scripts are capable of. So generating batches of folders instantly, adjusting file names in batches, even generating temporary invoices with no clicking around on your computer. It's done all from the terminal. This is a direct follow-up to that video. You can click it in the link above if you'd like to see it. That one is more of a demonstration of everything, whereas this video is about the instruction, how the scripts get made, how they land on your machine, and how you run them. I'm going to build one on camera for you guys, warts and all. If something needs adjusting, we'll adjust it. That's kind of part of the process. And honestly, it is probably the most useful thing that I can show you because the back and forth with AI is usually how this works as you seek to refine whatever workflow you're building. Real quick, what is a script? So a script is just a text file with instructions so your computer knows how to execute it. So it is something that you run in a terminal app. So in this case, there is the blank terminal that comes with your computer, but I am using one called Warp right here, which is a bit more robust. They are just called Unix executable files, and we're going to open new PO just so you can see what the script looks like. So this is one of my existing scripts called new PO. And this is what runs when I type the words new PO into a terminal. This is all text and instructions, and we are going to build something like this today to do a very similar command. It's not going to be the exact same as this, but it is going to function in very much the same way. One quick thing to kind of demystify how terminal works. So there is a hidden configuration file on your Mac called .zsrhc, and that lives in your home folder. That file is what tells any terminal app that you have where to look when you type a command. So in order to see where my terminal is actually looking when I type in here, we're going to type something called echo $path. And what this is, it is a list of all of the folders that terminal looks in when it's looking for commands that I want it to execute. Now, I only really have one added folder in here, which is this guy right here. You can see it's my scripts_workflows. So what I've basically done is I told terminal, hey, I'm going to have a lot of scripts in this folder. Please always look in this folder for those scripts. So that is how it knows whenever I type in one of these names, it will execute that if it exists within this folder. So every time I create a new script in this folder, it now becomes accessible within the terminal. I realize that there's a bit of a learning curve for this, so I will include setup instructions in the link in the description for getting your own folder onto this list. It does involve just pasting it into whatever AI agent you are using, but it will have the instructions so that it knows exactly what you're trying to do. Either way, this piece is already on my machine, so let's get into the build. Help me create a terminal command to create a Mac executable script called BOBPO, period. When I run it, I want it to first prompt me for a job number or general PO number, period. Then prompt me for an additional PO number, or I can press enter to skip that if the company just uses standalone PO numbers rather than a job number plus PO number format, period. After that, ask me how many folders I want and generate that many sequentially numbered folders using whatever naming conventions I've provided, period. And actually, let's give it the folder path too. So we'll click in the folder, press Option Command C, copy the folder path, and put this down here. Here is the folder path where you can create the file. So that, press enter. All right, the container can't write directly to your Dropbox path, which is to be expected. So here's the terminal command to create it yourself, which is what I wanted. Just paste the entire block into terminal and hit enter. All right, perfect. So we've got all this in here. I don't know all this code, but it's giving both code and instructions for what the code does. So let's put it in there and see what happens. So we're going to put this code in here, and likely what is going to happen is you're going to see a new script appear within this folder. So let's press enter. And there we go. Perfect. BOBPO has landed in our scripts folder. So starting a new session, we've got BOBPO created. So let's call it. Great. Has a nice header. Even mine doesn't have that. So enter job number or PO number. All right. Let's just call the job 4321. And then we'll enter the additional PO number. So in this case, let's do -01, see what it goes from there. How many folders do you want? Let's say 10. And then the destination path. Let's actually go to this folder right here. We will drag and drop it in here, and then we will press enter. All right, perfect. So we've created all these folders. However, I don't necessarily like the naming convention that it has, so I am going to want to refine this a little bit because I don't want it to say PO right here. I just want it to be 4321-01. So let's go back and refine this a little bit. Going into Claude. Great first pass, comma. Please refine this so the convention follows this formatting. Job number, PO number, example 4321-01, 4321-02, or PO sequence 24351, 24352, 24353, etc. Remove all PO lettering from naming conventions. Please let me know if there are any clarifying details I can provide. Good Lord, I can't spell details. All right, let's see what it returns. Quick clarifying questions. All right, job PO format. Let's say for this, let's just have it be padded with 2 digits. We'll press that. Standalone PO sequences is the starting number always user provided. User provides the starting number. Perfect. And it says perfect. All right, refined command. All right, while it's building that, let's go back to the script workflows folder. When we run this command, it will just update this file. So you will see this timing change once I put it in here. All right, details, upfront mode selection, job PO format, always pad, standalone PO asks for starting number and counts up from there, and no PO lettering anywhere in the output name. Perfect. All right, so let's copy this guy. We will go back to here, paste it in, press enter. Perfect. We saw this guy update right here. And let's try and run it one more time. So let's go in here, clear this folder out. And we will do BOB-PO. Perfect. Now it's giving me the option between 1 or 2. So let's do a job and PO sequence of 1. Enter job number, again, 4321. How many folders? 10. Enter destination folder. Let's copy it in there. Path does not exist. You know, actually, it's probably because of the quote, so I may need to drag and drop it in here instead. So let's run that again, BOB-PO. We're going to do 1. We're going to do job number 4321. How many folders? 10. Enter path directory. Let's drag it in there instead. Press enter. And that is exactly what we are looking for right here. 4321-01020304. Okay, this is perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. Okay, let's try one more time. BOB-PO. Let's try standalone PO sequence. All right, it will be 5, 3, 6, 5, 7, 8, and then it should just go up sequentially from there. How many folders? Let's do 15. And then destination path or press enter for current directory. I actually modified it to be, this is my current directory, so we'll just press enter. And we can see it now generated everything we needed to, starting with 578, 579, 580. Perfect. And the total number is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 folders. All right. Perfect. Perfect. I love this. Now that it's operating the way I want to in terms of naming conventions, the other option that I want to include is adding vendor names ahead of time. So let's go back in here and give it some instructions on how to further modify. All right, this is operating perfectly from a naming convention standpoint, comma. The only other option that I want to add is the ability to add comma separated vendor names once the numbering convention has been decided, period. So for example, if I know 4 or 5 vendors up front, I would like to include their names as the first PO numbers in the sequence, and then the remaining ones will be blank for however many I've requested be created, period. I have no idea if that made sense, but we're going to fire it and see if it understands it. Quick clarification before I build this out. Let's see. Let's do suffix. If you enter fewer vendor names than folder requested, what should the remaining folders look like? Let's do just the number. Perfect. We'll go back to this folder just to confirm that it updates when we run the new command. All right, perfect. It's generated the new command. Let's try it. We will copy it, throw it into terminal, paste, go ahead. This guy's updating yet again. Go back to our folder, delete everything in here. All right, BOBPO, run. We are going to do the standalone sequence. Enter starting PO number. Just for simplicity's sake, let's just start with 001. How many folders? 15. Vendor for 1, let's say petty cash. Vendor for 2, let's say hot bricks. Vendor for 3, company credit card, 1, 2, 3, 4. Catering vendor. All right, that should be enough. We'll press enter. Enter destination path. And fire. All right, perfect. So except for giving me the leading zeros that I had asked for, which is not a deal breaker at this moment, it gave me everything that I wanted in terms of naming my first 4 vendors and then creating the remainder of the purchase order folders without including the name. So this is like 95% of the way there to what I want, and I could make a few more refinements to get it working exactly as I want. But the fact of the matter is I no longer have to go in and manually create folders, manually number, manually name, manually copy paste. That nonsense is a thing of the past. And all things considered, the adjustment loop of going in and being able to talk about what changes you want within Claude, it returns a new executable script for you to put into your command line, and then being able to test it immediately is great. Like once you get a few reps under your belt, it becomes very easy to generate and modify scripts to really streamline your workflows. And that is the build, everybody. One script made from scratch, installed, tested, adjusted, troubleshot, the whole thing in one go. What I love about this is even though I'm a systems-oriented person, I'm not that great at code. And so I don't need to understand every line of that file to trust it. I described what I wanted, I saw it work, and now it runs every time that I need it to. The setup instructions and a prompt template are in a link in the description below. And as a reminder, if you want to see a demonstration of some of the other scripts that I have built, you can go ahead and click this link up here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.